Chris Parsons from the Happy Healthy Marriage Reset. And today, I don't know what the point of what I'm about to say is, but I think as I talk about it, I'll come to a point. I want to tell you a story about something that happened with my wife last night. So, for about 4 or 5 days, my wife has had some drama happening in her life, not related to me or the marriage or anything, just completely separate. And she's been kind of disconnected, emotionally withdrawn from me. Now, I'm understanding of that. I know what's happening and what's going on and why it's taking so much energy and attention from her. And so I am compassionate to that fact, but it doesn't change that my feelings are being hurt. And so 2 days ago, I told her that my feelings were hurt and how I was frustrated, how I was feeling, and what I wanted. And she said, okay, and that was it. And then yesterday, she was incredibly kind, sweet, loving, affectionate. As soon as she would come in the door, she would find me and want to kiss and want to sit on my lap and want to cuddle. And every man's dream, right? Every man wants his wife to seek, and I don't think this is a male-female thing, by the way. I think everybody wants their spouse to love them that much, right? Where they seek you out, they want to love on you because they love you, they appreciate you, they value you. And my wife started doing it, and I was frustrated, and I was not receiving her love. And of course, she's feeling rejected. She's feeling like, why do I even bother? And I'm like, don't stop. Just push through to get me to realize that this isn't something you're just trying to do to appease me. But here, and pushing through is important, okay? When your spouse is rejecting you and doesn't want your love, you need to push through. Because if it's genuine, if it's authentic and sincere, then you love them even when they don't want to receive your love. My wife was talking about how much she appreciates that I do that. That even when she wants to stay mad at me, I don't let her because I just love her anyway, and I continue to love her even though she's mad. And I'm like, well, I appreciate that too. But here was the big thing. I told my wife, I want to feel heard. I don't feel heard. And she's like, well, you told me what you wanted, that you wanted me to be affectionate, and that you, not that I wanted that, because that's the wrong way, is to say, I need you to be more affectionate. But I told her that I was frustrated that she was focusing all of her energy and attention on this other thing in her life, and that I was hurt because me and the kids felt like we were, playing second fiddle. And like a really distant second fiddle, not close. And that's an important difference, right? I was communicating my feelings and not telling her what I needed her to do, because telling your spouse what you need them to do doesn't work. It's going to make both of you very, very frustrated. So anyway, I told her that's how I felt. And then she changed her actions. So she's like, why would you not feel heard? Obviously, I heard you. I've changed. And she's right. She's completely 100% right. I, quote unquote, should feel heard, but I don't, right? And I don't live in the fantasy land of should. I live in reality, and reality is I wanted to have a conversation where she said, I wanted her to acknowledge that my feelings were valid, that she completely understood why I would feel the way that I feel, and that that's not what she wants, and she wants to change her actions, and then change her actions. And this has been, something throughout our marriage. She changes her actions, and I'm like, but I want to talk about it, which I guess is uncommon. I know, the generalization is that women like to talk and men don't. And I wasn't always like this. I didn't always want to talk, but for, the past, 6 years, I've seen how powerful it is. And so I crave it. I want that because I know the emotional connection it brings to have those conversations, for me to feel heard, valued, acknowledged. And so I really put an emphasis on it. And my wife, Carrie, was like, that's not what I want. I don't want to feel heard first. I want to see the actions change first, and then you can make me feel heard. And I didn't say this to her because, being a relationship transformation coach, you're in a very precarious situation in your marriage, because anything can always be thrown in your face that, oh, you're supposed to be, right? You're supposed to be perfect. You're not supposed to have any flaws. You're not supposed to do anything wrong. You're supposed to have all the answers. And the reality is that I'm a human being, and I make mistakes, and I'm selfish sometimes and inconsiderate other times, and all these things. And so I never want to put myself in that position by acting like I know better than my wife. And I don't put myself in that position by feeling or thinking that way either. Because I believe that I've figured some things out that can help people, but that doesn't mean that I think that I'm better than them. And so I don't think that I'm better at relationships than my wife is. I think that I understand some things that she might not understand, but there's plenty of things that she understands that I don't understand. My wife owns a retail store, that there's a whole lot that goes into that I don't understand. I can't do what she does, and she can't do what I do. Doesn't make either one of us better than the other. And so what I did not say to my wife was, the reason you don't think you need me to make you feel heard is because I make you feel heard. I do not say that. She's going to see it on this video. I'm sure she'll say something to me about it, but I did not say that because it serves no purpose. And you don't want to be reacting. This is a lesson that took me 36 plus years to learn. Not every thought that you have needs to come out of your mouth. It's a lesson I'm trying to teach my kids, because just because you have a thought doesn't mean you have to say it out loud. For somebody like me that has a lot of thoughts, and I have my 6-year-old daughter is very similar to me, and she's got a lot of thoughts, and sometimes she says mean stuff. She went to a tutor, and the tutor was a short woman, I don't know, 5'1" maybe. And the first thing my daughter said when she met her was, "You're really short." And she told my daughter, "Well, you're really short." My daughter said, "Yeah, but I'm young and short. You're old and short." So it's an important lesson that my daughter has to learn, is not every thought that you have needs to come out of your mouth. And it might be an important lesson for you to learn. It's a lesson that took me way too long, but you learn it when you learn it. And then when you know better, you do better. And so I had the thought, did not say it because I was smart enough to not let it come out of my mouth, and instead wait to put it on video. But that's the reality, is that she doesn't have to recognize how important making me feel heard is. Well, she does now, because I told her how I felt. I communicated my feelings in a useful way. But she didn't have to know that before, because I already do it to her. And so when something is already there and present in your life, you don't recognize how important it is. When it's missing, that's when you recognize how important it is. So recognize what's missing in your marriage. Does your spouse feel heard, valued, and acknowledged? When they talk, do you tell them that you understand how they feel? Do you empathize with their perspective? Or are you having an alternating monologue where they talk, you wait for them to stop so you can talk? Do you feel heard, valued, and acknowledged from your spouse? If not, tell them. Tell them that your feelings are hurt. Tell them what you want or what you would like to happen. Now, here's what I mean. There's an important difference between telling your spouse your needs and saying, I need you to make me feel X, Y, Z. That doesn't work because it creates an obligation in them, which builds resentment, which leads to emotional disconnection, which means the love disappears. Now, getting rid of resentment allows that love to come flooding back, but I digress. So, I don't even remember what I was talking about. The importance of... I tried mud water today, and I have to say, I don't know if I feel the mental clarity that I thought I would. It's my first time trying it, and I mixed it in with coffee. I don't know. That's the grade I'm giving it so far. But very first time trying it, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna give it at least, and I don't drink caffeine every day, so I'll probably try it, 2 or 3 times over the next couple weeks. See if I can come to enjoy the flavor and get the mental clarity of what I'm looking for. I'll be right back. All right, tell your spouse what you want, not what you need. And here's the distinction. When you say, I need you to make me feel heard, valued, and acknowledged, you create an obligation, you make them feel like they have to do something for you, which builds resentment in both of you. Doesn't work. Instead of saying that, what you say is, I feel hurt by not feeling heard, valued, and acknowledged, because when you said this, it made me feel like you invalidated my feelings, or whatever they did and how it made you feel. And then say, I would love to feel heard, like you actually understand and can appreciate my perspective. Tiny little difference there, but it has an incredibly different impact because it doesn't create an obligation or a sense of you telling them what they have to do. Nobody likes being told what to do, but what it does is it gives them clarity to make a choice for themselves of what they can do to make you happier. And your spouse cares about you. They want you to be happy, but you have to show them how. And when you tell them what to do, you don't give them an opportunity to make you happy. You give them an opportunity to not disappoint you. It's a very big difference, because not disappointing you is not nearly as appealing as making you happy is. So let your spouse make you happy.